Joe Biden has proven himself to be a disastrous pick for centrist Democrats. So as a result, they're in a scramble trying to find the proper replacement. Who can, really represent their values and win the primary and hopefully beat Donald Trump? Well, there's a New York Times article that I highly recommend everyone looks into. The title is "Anxious Democratic Establishment Asks, Is there anybody else?"
I love the smell of panic by the establishment in the morning.
So let me give you a tasty taste of what this piece says, and then I'm gonna give you the names that are floating around in establishment circles. So party leaders who are fatalistic about Democrats' chances in 2020 are musing about possible late entrants to the race. Sherrod Brown, Michelle Obama. With doubts rising about former Vice President Joe Biden's ability to finance a multi-state primary campaign, his donations are drying up a little bit. Persistent questions about Senator Elizabeth Warren's viability in the general election, and skepticism that Mayor Pete Buttigieg out of South Bend, Indiana, can broaden his appeal beyond white voters. Democratic leaders are engaging in a familiar rite, fretting about who is in the race and longing for a white knight to enter the contest at the last minute. So some of the names that are being floated, and a lot of these are disastrous. There's Hillary Clinton, there's Michael Bloomberg, Michelle Obama, John Kerry. You also have some people floating the idea of Eric Holder running, Sherrod Brown, Deval Patrick. And then at one point, Deval Patrick responds to all of these rumors and says, everyone needs to calm down. It's early, it's so early.
No, it's not. You're about to lose. Right now, Warren is in the best position. That's why Bloomberg canceled fundraisers for other Democrats, because he's thinking of going in the race himself. My favorite part of the story, there's so many great parts of the story, is they say that Democrats on Wall Street are worried about Elizabeth Warren, so they're encouraging Bloomberg to run because they think that their 3 voters might actually win the election. Good luck with that, okay? Yeah, Bloomberg coming in like a white knight saying, "Don't worry, billionaires, I will save you. I will not let any progressive do a wealth tax or give healthcare to Americans." You think that's a winning strategy, you schmucks? But in their world, they're so insulated. They're in their little billionaire bubble, and they think, oh yeah, Bloomberg's so popular. I bet the country will love that billionaire who says we should protect other billionaires. Oh, that's such a good idea. Oh, Mike, you gotta get in, Mike. For all the billionaires out there, there's like 7 of us or so. I bet we win the election. Okay, good luck with that. Come on, Mike, the water's warm. Come get your ass kicking, see how it turns out for you.
So the way that establishment Democrats sell this, having someone else join late in the race to represent the centrist in the party is, well, only a centrist could beat Donald Trump. If Elizabeth Warren wins the nomination, she's 100% gonna lose to Donald Trump. But
idiots.
But here's the thing. First of all, we've been through this not too long ago, and Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump. She lost to a reality show clown, okay? Wears his red nose every morning before he goes out there and embarrasses the American people. And Hillary Clinton lost to that. And so now you're gonna propose that Hillary Clinton run again? No, she needs, go away, go enjoy your life, stop making ridiculous comments about other candidates while you're giving podcast interviews. And there's a reason why you have people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, at the top. Yeah. Polling really well.
So the person apparently most seriously considering entering the race is Hillary Clinton.
Oh God, it's just so annoying and devastating. Like, go away.
So she's on a book tour, and she's purposely, as we told you just a couple of days ago, when I saw her making the comments about like, don't tempt me to get back in the race, when she tweeted that out, I said, oh no, she's not joking. She's testing the waters. Okay, and so it turns out now the New York Times reporting, yes, testing the waters and seriously considering it. But her, okay, I get it. Look, if I was her, I'd want a rematch. And I understand her drive, and I understand her anger, I understand all of that, right? And to some degree, I respect it. But for the Democratic donors to think, oh, our white knight will come in and save us, it'll be Hillary Clinton, because the country wants a centrist like Hillary. We just did that election. But see, that's what I'm talking about, guys. They're so biased, they can't see straight. They think, I got it, genius idea. The one person who could beat Donald Trump is the one person who lost to Donald Trump. They genuinely believe that. They genuinely believe it. That's how insanely biased they are. And then they're like, oh, you guys, well, you want to help the average American, so you're biased. No, well, that's kind of how you win elections. So now let me get to the rest of them. Now, John Kerry lost to George W. Bush. And he's like, oh, maybe I should enter the race. Biden's faltering. And so they think, oh, Biden had a couple of missteps. No, it isn't about the missteps. If it was about the missteps, why isn't Kamala Harris doing amazing? There's 25 people in the race, or there was at one point. Why isn't any of the other establishment candidates doing great? Why isn't Klobuchar doing great? John Delaney, why is John Hickenlooper, why do you get embarrassed and get run out of town? Because your ideas suck and they're not popular. But they're like, no. If Biden said the right sentences, then he would win. But it's because he had a little misstatement, and that's why Biden's losing. No, Biden is now beginning to lose, and every other establishment candidate is losing because we don't like your ideas of only helping the rich and only helping your donors. Well, now they should be excited about Buttigieg, right? First of all, another underlying theme of this article is Kamala Harris is done. All these donors loved Kamala Harris. They've now totally given up on her. Okay, and they thought, and it's perfect, this is gonna lead to another part of this. That's an African American we could hide behind, okay? And now they're like, damn it, we couldn't hide behind her. If you notice, 3 of the people that they mentioned, African Americans. If you notice, their criticism of Buttigieg was, we like him a lot and he would definitely protect our money, but he's not doing well with African American voters. So can we find another African American to hide behind? Deval Patrick, where are you, right? So now, look, I'm not blaming the people they named. They're not in the race, right? So I'm not blaming Deval Patrick, Michelle Obama, or anyone else, or Eric Holder. Now, if they get in to be a white knight for the rich donors, well, that's a different issue, okay? But right now, they haven't done that. It's not their fault. But these rich donors are looking around. And so apparently, they're worried about Buttigieg too. So if you're worried about every single establishment candidate in the race, why do you think a different establishment candidate will do any better? Right. It isn't about the misstatements, it's about the substance and the policy.
Exactly. I mean, when we're dealing with a widening inequality gap, when we're dealing with people who are struggling to put food on the table for their kids, who are going bankrupt because of the high cost of healthcare, telling American voters, we're not gonna do much for you because it's too hard is not a message that anyone's buying. It's not a message that inspires people or gets them to the polls. You gotta give them something to vote for. And I feel like the establishment Democrats are still in the mindset of, we're gonna run against Trump, that's our message. We're gonna run against Trump, but that's not good enough. You need to inspire people, you need to give them something to vote for.
2 last things, guys. The New York Times, it's actually a great story. I'm glad they did it. That's why we care about their reporting, care about good reporting. But it is missing important context. They say, well, one of the other times that people were looking for a white knight was back in 2004 when Howard Dean was the leading candidate. I wonder why those are the 2 times that the rich Democratic donors panicked. When Howard Dean, who was at the time a strong progressive, had the lead. And now when Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are in the top 3 and Warren is taking the lead, progressives have the lead. And again, the rich donors panic. But yet the article is written like, oh, they're just worried for no reason. They're worried that they might not be able to beat Trump. No, they're worried about the money. They're worried about progressives actually winning and that affecting their taxes and all the other things that they care about. Write about it in reality. In the real world, the billionaire donors on Wall Street are concerned that the progressive might actually win. And finally, I get to Sherrod Brown. What a deep, deep disappointment. And also the unions. So what people don't tell you is, they say, oh, the unions negotiated so hard to get these healthcare benefits for their workers, and they care about their workers. Do they? Because in Bernie Sanders' proposals, in the Medicare for All bill and another bill that he proposed, what would happen is all those gains that they negotiated for would then go into their salary. Well, the union workers would love that. They would have free healthcare and they'd have a much higher salary. But the union leaders who also make money from selling insurance would have less money.
Can I also jump in on that real quick? Because healthcare shouldn't be tied to anyone's job. And for people who are making this argument about how the unions negotiated hard and they got the healthcare that they deserve, keep in mind that those striking GM workers lost their healthcare coverage because they were striking. So that's, and by the way, their pensions are in jeopardy, all of those things. So again, it shouldn't be tied to the work that you do, and that healthcare can be snatched away in a heartbeat, and that's exactly what happened to those striking workers.
I understand why some of the corrupt Democrats who take money from the unions would want to protect some of the corrupt union leaders. I don't understand why the reporters want to protect them. You guys want to do any stories about how the unions make a ton of money from health insurance and that perhaps that might be their motivation? I haven't heard a peep. Apparently, now look, I gave you New York Times credit earlier, but they can't find an investigative reporter in the building to go and chase that down. Washington Post, where are you? You think Sherrod Brown is the union's man in the Senate. Now that leads him to being progressive on a lot of issues, but at the end of the day, when the unions who give him all his money say to him, hey boy, we want you to be against Medicare for all, Sherrod Brown comes in now in this article, he's like, well, we can't have a candidate who's for Medicare for all. We can't have people getting health care in this country. What happened? I thought you were a big progressive. It turns out you're not a big progressive. You just do the same thing that other politicians do. You go where the money is. It's just in your case, instead of corporate money, it's union money. That's why you got to get all of the money out. Wolf-pac.com. Until you get the money out. See, Wolfpack is not part of the name. Give a damn. They're gonna take the corporate money out, they're gonna take the union money out, they're gonna take the Koch brother money out, and they're also gonna take the Soros money out. That's why both Republicans and Democrat voters, not politicians, the politicians hate Wolfpack, but the voters love it because they want all this corrupt money out. So Sherrod Brown says, no, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. I take union money, not corporate money, and I do as they tell me. That is not innocent. And if Sherrod Brown gets into this race, it'll be the worst mistake of his life. He'll be embarrassed, he'll get 0% of the vote, and we'll know exactly where he stands. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.